of said, "Oh, I didn't want you to like go into business and all that. I have better plans for you." The way that they deceive we women, and we when we just see when love just hits us one kind way, we go just swallow everything hook, line, and sinker. So at a particular point in time, that was where my zeal, drive, motivation, everything just died. But God blessed me with siblings, the last kids of my parents, Taya and Kende. Ooh, I love those children so much. Tapa, please don't be jealous. I love you too. Yeah, so, but those children, they always believe in me. I like to call them children because that's a 10 years difference. I know you guys are men now, but they believed so much in me that even in my failures, even in my how do I call it, in my, I don't want to call it lifeless because I was almost lifeless stage, they still had that belief that I was going to be successful. Things got so bad to a point. By the way, I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I've been through domestic violence. It was really, really bad. I have scars that reminds me of the pains I went through. I've been through um, emotional trauma, psychological trauma, mental trauma. It got so bad to a point where I became suicidal. But for every time I wanted to do something stupid, there was this thing that would always tell me like, if you kill yourself, your brothers are going to suffer. So as in that kind of kept my life going. That's why I tell people like, no matter how small anybody is, if the person believes in you, do not lose that person. Even if it's a 2-year-old child, if you have a niece, a nephew, a friend's child, anybody that believes so much in you, that believes, my younger brothers, when they were young, they used to tell me, I can't forget this one. When they were 7 years old, they would tell me, they'll come back from school, Auntie Sola, I told my friends that you're going to buy me a big aeroplane, the one that flies in the air. I told my friends, my sister is going to buy me a big aeroplane. So that was the faith they had in me. So when life became so cruel and reduced me to that stage where I asked myself, like, what am I even living for? I think I should kill myself because nothing made sense anymore. It was the thoughts of my baby brothers that kept me going. Like, if you kill yourself, do you think these children will ever forgive you? Do you think they will ever be happy? Anytime they think about you, how are they going to feel? So the thought of those children kept me going. So I tell people, no matter whether the person is educated, not educated, whether it's a child, whether, if they believe in you, please, I beg you in the name of God, keep them very close, because a time is going to come that that belief they have in you is what is going to make a meaning in your life. So I went through all of that. As God will have it, I've been coming to America for a while. So when I found out that my marriage was hitting the rock and I came here, that was how I started staying. And when I came back here, whew, that ambition I had when I was young, when I was 21, when I was 22, when I was 23, I saw that ambition coming again. There were times in this country I've had to work for 72 hours straight. You heard me right. I have worked 72 hours straight without taking a break. And I remember so well. If my boss is watching this, she will remember too. And as I was braiding the customer's hair, I said I wanted to go use the restroom. I went to the restroom and I slept in the restroom for 45 minutes. They were knocking, I was gone. Because imagine working in the saloon from 7 a.m. till like 11 p.m., going down to 7-Eleven, staying there from 11 p.m. in the evening till like 7 a.m. in the I did that for like 3 days back to back, and I slept. I sleep attire and a man body no be firewood. I slept. So what am I trying to say? I picked up myself back. I don't drive. I don drive sotey if I dey sleep for night my leg dey match brake on you. People wey dey drive, you go understand wetin I dey talk. Your leg go just dey match brake, you go just dey match the brake like that. Yeah, that was how bad it was. I did Postmates, I did DoorDash, I did Grubhub, I did Instacart, I did na America be this. You no go feel like if you put my name for inside this, you go see everything go come outside. I did all that, but this is where this is a very big information I want to share. When I was doing all that, I was also working on a career. I was working on my IT career then, because I knew those jobs, those struggles were not going to be sustainable. I knew I will never have the strength for the next 10, 15, 20 years to keep up with that kind of job. So what did I do? I went to do IT. I told someone at first, because I was very big on education, I said, you know what, I go just run do my masters, when they tell me money for school fees for masters, I pass window, I PNT, I run. Coupled with the fact that even after that masters, they'll be starting me with I think my salary was gonna be like $68,000 a year. I'm like, what's the difference from what I'm making at the moment and what they'll be paying me when I do my masters? I was like, you know what, I'm not interested. I would rather look for something that will make me more. Forget to be also, are they also? So I really wanted something that was going to make me a lot of money, and I paused on that, and I met with some people like, so what's the part? Well, what other thing can I do aside doing my masters or being a nurse? A lot of people were jumping into nursing. I'm like, I really don't like the health field. I don't have anything against it, but that is not for me. I'm a very practical person, so I like to reason, logic. I don't want to be injecting people. I don't want to look at people's injury. Like, that's not my calling. I have a lot of friends that are nurses. I mean no disrespect. What I'm just trying to say is, not be my calling be that one. My calling na to reason, solve problem, and then my calling dey. So, and somebody introduced me to someone, and I went to this IT school where, they put me through, with the anger and the will, the zeal to succeed. There's something I always tell people. You have to win internally to win externally. If you want to win, you have to develop that winning mindset. You have to be able to tell yourself that you will win. Tell yourself why you should win, and tell yourself how you're going to feel when the win comes. It has to be a daily routine that you practice. You inculcate that habit inside of you, and I developed it. So even when I went into the class, for crying out loud, I did industrial chemistry. And industrial chemistry and cloud engineering, they are two different words. Forget your own science, two different things entirely. But I kept on going. I started that class. Trust me, when I started the class, it be like say my teacher dey speak Spanish. I was like the dullest person. When you say olodo for class, na me. But I told myself, if I give up, what next? Continue doing DoorDash delivery and Grubhub? Is that the life I owe my daughter? Is that the life I owe my siblings? I told them I was going to look out for them. So what am I going to do? It's easier for me to bend my head to read than for me to say, okay, I want to increase my hours, because you go drive tired. There's a certain income bracket that you know feel reach am, and there's so many things you want to do that your job will limit you from doing. So I'm like, no. I went back to the class. I was reading. I went from being the dullest in the class. By the time the class was ending, I was among the best students in the class. If you ask my boss, he go tell you, because I cultivated the habit of reading every day. And that's what I tell people. Sometimes you look at something like it's so big. No, it's not big. It's just the mindset thing. Apart from few people who are genetically very intelligent, most people learn intelligence when they are giving birth to. Okay? The way they read, the time they spend every day reading is what makes the difference. So I told myself, you know what? You are going to put in that work to make the difference. As I was pushing with the class, By the time the class was ending, I was among the best students. It was time to take my exam for the class. I took my exam. In one sitting, I cleared it. And after some time, I did my interviews. Interview, that's another day. I think I'll be talking about that interview thing on Tech Tuesday, not today. And after a while, I finally got a job. I got a job as a senior cloud engineer. I've also worked as a lead cloud architect in the biggest hospital in the world. Yes, I've worked there. So what am I trying to say? Your drive, your aspiration, your focus, your zeal, your dreams, they are valid if you make it valid. If you tell yourself that I'm going to be intentional with my life, trust me, I should be looking at myself and say, okay, I was able to turn things around for 40 people, for 50 people, and they'll be sharing their success story. Trust me, that's going to give me a lot of satisfaction. My dad was a disciplinarian, was an academician, so I really, 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 really want to toe that part. I want to see as many people that want to win. What about those that are not interested in tech? They are looking for career development. They are looking for professional development. They want to like get into the business world. You have good, great ideas. You're just looking for a sponsor. You can share your ideas with me, and we could work something out. You never know. I'm not saying it's going to be for everybody, but every once in a while, we're going to have like mentorship programs where we people come together, and we try to sponsor the few people we can sponsor. We'll also be having like teenagers career talk class, because sometimes I see some teenagers and you're asking them, what do you want to be, and they be like, I don't know yet. I kind of feel like it's dangerous. So I want to see a situation where I can inspire the next set of people, like talk to them, give them different career options, start fine tuning their mind. If you don't fine tune a child's brain, trust me, I've gone to, I'm also an event host. I've gone to events where I ask someone like, what do you want to be? And the small child look at me and say, I want to be a gambler. My daddy makes a lot of money from gambling. That's a very, very, very dangerous thing for a child to say. So I know most times now people are so carried away with what they see on social media. But we also have to make these teenagers and children understand that before you think of being a model, before you think of being a musician, before you think of being anything, you should also have a plan B. So that when plan A does not work, you have plan B to focus on. Sometimes as a musician, you have a span. It's only very few musicians that have a very long span. Some musicians, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. After 10 years, what next? But if you have a career, you can always fall back to your career if anything happens. So stuff like this are what we're going to be sharing on this podcast. If you see what we're doing, you like what we're doing, you say, okay, I want to be a sponsor. You never know. We are open to sponsorship. You can send us an email and we'll be glad to work with you as a sponsor on this show. Also, if you have a business, you want to showcase your product, you want to tell us about your product, you want us to like invite you for an opportunity where you tell the world about what you're making, you can also send us a message, and trust me, we will be happy to work with you. So please join us on this journey, and trust me, it's gonna be a success. Every once in a while we're gonna come together, we're gonna have fun, because aside learning, now all work and no play makes what makes MC surely a dull girl. So I'm gonna be intentional, like making sure I deliver the right information where you can learn, and I'm also gonna be having fun, because not be only work, work, work. We're gonna be having fun together. So please, let me formally once again welcome all of us to the Fun and Intelligence Room, where laughter means learning. As we dey laugh, na so we go dey learn. As we dey laugh, na so we go dey learn. After some time, we'll be going live on TikTok. Sometimes we'll go live on Instagram. Maybe on the days we'll say, okay, we've had some followers that will know they've been with us for a while. Okay, we want to, I don't want to call it giveaway, because when I say giveaway, everybody, I want to hear people's ideas that I feel okay, I can support. I want to hear business ideas. I want to see people who are looking for career development, so we navigate them through the right track. So every once in a while, we'll be doing events like that, and we'll be picking one or two people that we can sponsor. Not use my money take go drink or carry woman, or the money go loss. I'm just joking, by the way. So we'll be doing all of that, so do not forget, like, comment, share all our social media platform, subscribe on our YouTube channel, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and all that. The pages will be popping out on the screen.